By Liam Neeson's invisible beard. There's a presence somewhere nearby. It's not here. It's somewhere in this room. It's not an internet troll. Definitely not an internet troll. Not enough flamage for an internet troll. Then what is it? Oh. Wait a minute. Oh. Mm-mm. No. There's a lot of things that I'll do, but weird, scary things, especially under beds and just in houses, no! I don't do that. No! Go hunt somewhere else. Now that's what I call an episode of Doctor Who. Oh my goodness me. Doctor Who Series 8, Episode 4, I believe, and the title is Listen. Okay, so breaking it down, Listen is essentially about Clara and Danny Pink. So they're on their first date and it doesn't go so well, and it's kind of it's a little bit of a train wreck, and you think nothing of it at first. It starts out with him talking in the TARDIS this whole time about how he feels like there's people that live inside of just existence, but we don't see them because they're always with us, and it's really creepy. Like, boo. That's what I love about this Doctor Who episode, is it gives you that right amount of creep factor. It doesn't terrify you, but it still keeps your hairs all... You know that feeling after, like, you see a spider, and it's a big, ugly spider, and then, like, 3 hours later, you feel like that movement, and you're like, yeah, you're gone. Yeah, it's basically that, the entire episode. The best thing is, I think all of us innately do have a fear of what's under our bed when we were younger, and even now, if I told you there was a possibility of a hand coming out and grabbing your leg, this leg to be exact, and just in the middle of the night, it would freak you out, and you probably wouldn't want to go anywhere near the edge of your bed until the morning, when you could double check when it's clearly safe, because other than the blanket being a protection against creepy boogie monsters, the bed, under the bed, you need daytime. You need to see that crap, because if not, you have no clue what's under there. Now, what I love is that also, this episode throws you for a loop, because ultimately time travel's involved, and Clara leaves, but at the same time she shows up. And so you assume there's an older Danny Pink. But who is it? Oh no, it's Orson Pink. I love this, because the whole entire time I was thinking, how is Danny gonna show up in, like, his Afro Man do? I mean, he kind of looked like a little bit shaggier Black Dynamite. Yeah, shake that image out of your head. They travel back in time to Danny Pink, and here's where the mind blower goes, is all of a sudden he hands her the soldier that she gave him to protect him when he was a child, well, Danny as a child, and says, this has been handed down from my family, from my great-grandmother. And I was like, are they flat out already saying that Clara's going to marry Danny Pink? In which case, please make Danny Pink cooler, because right now Clara could do a little better than Danny Pink. Believe me. Like, anybody, pretty much, in the show. Because Danny Pink still is kind of a bit of a pansy and a whiny character. But I feel like there's more than that, and that's what I want to get onto later in this analysis video, is I feel like there's more to it than what they're saying, because they are saying, yes, it was handed down, but it doesn't make sense that it was necessarily, like, that blatantly obvious. Clara's going to end up with Danny Pink. I feel like that's the avenue they're going, but something tells me otherwise. That scene where the soldier is given to Danny Pink as a child. That scene was freaking creepy because all of a sudden, like, the bed goes down as they're under the bed, and you're like, oh, it's all cool, and then the bed goes down, and you're just like, what? And they tease you because at first they get up and she's like, oh, doctor, you're pulling a joke, and it's just the sheet. And you're just like, if I saw that in my room, just no, already right there, no, not sleeping tonight. That was so creepy. Don't disagree with me, guys. You know it was creepy. So that was creepy, especially because then the doctor shows up and he acts like it's a practical joke. And then all of a sudden he realizes it's not. And he has no clue how to fight it. And I love this scene because it's just standing there making you uncomfortable. And it was just so well done. Guys, this episode, I think, is one of the best episodes of the season. I mean, this was fantastically done. Capaldi played it off perfectly again. But here's towards the end of the episode that really got me, is when Clara runs out, because the TARDIS, she thinks with the neural link, they're back, time's all snapped back together, and all of a sudden she ends up in this barn with a kid crying, and she thinks it's Danny Pink again. And she goes up there and she hides under there, and the parents are arguing about being a soldier, and the mom says he doesn't want to be a soldier. He doesn't want to be a soldier. And he says, well, he's got to be braver if he wants to be a Time Lord. And I was like, okay, guys, so in this episode, the doctor discusses about, like, with the coffee maker, and do you ever, like, notice weird things when you're just by yourself because it's your other person sort of, like, doing things in the background? And literally, as I was starting to talk about this, randomly just something went off in the house, and it was like no one planned it or anything. I need new pants now. That was really creepy timing because literally all of a sudden this electronic device just started compulsively beeping and wouldn't stop, so I had to cut the camera. Wow, that was creepy. I'll get new pants after I finish discussing this. The doctor starts to get out of bed because he actually hears the doctor yelling, and Clara's worried that this is going to be a huge disaster for the doctor's just mental state. And then Clara grabs the doctor's leg as he's getting out of bed. And then all of a sudden, all the pieces start clicking together to her. And she tells him everything that he's been theorizing. And then you start to kind of realize that maybe, is this all in the doctor's imagination? Is literally everything we're thinking about in the imagination? Which poses you to wonder, that thing under the sheet, what was that? That could have been anything. It could have even been a practical joke. Or was it in all of their minds? We don't know, but was it a practical joke? There were a couple things that you could argue they're plot holes, but I feel like they're going to explain them later in the show. But literally everything Clara explains to the doctor is, okay, this is what happens. And this is the doctor as an adolescent, before he even becomes a Time Lord. So he's young at this point. And which makes you wonder, because he's been thinking about this for a long time, is this the doctor trying to discover himself? I feel like this is the doctor trying to figure out who he is from before. And he uses this, but he's also thought this his whole life, that this is a real thing, that he's fictionalized it in his head, because Clara does tell him it's a dream. Now, that doesn't explain the other people's dreams, but could it be an effect that the doctor has referenced things, or just a domino effect over time? And I feel like that this is possibly in the doctor's head the whole time, because they have that segment where they're at the end of the world, or the end of the universe, like, it looked a little different from when David Tennant visited, but it was a little more red, but that was at nighttime, so who knows. But they're there, and he talks about the voices, and he keeps saying about how, like, pipes are settling, and I always thought things were moving in the pipes, and that kind of stuff, and you think that maybe it's a living thing, but is it just the doctor trying to discover himself and figure out his fears. And I love what he says about how fear is like humanity's superpower. It allows you to run faster, your heart's beating stronger, more oxygen. You can do that. You essentially become a superhero. I love how he's reassuring at times with stuff like that, and then at the same time he just cracks it up. But I feel like this is a very important episode and they haven't told us why yet. My theory being, first one, Clara actually gives the gift of that soldier to the Doctor, which makes me wonder, what is that going to happen with the Doctor? Because yes, I believe Orson Pink gave Clara that, and after he said it was a family heirloom, Clara just had it. And then gave it to him, so I don't know if that's going to be a domino effect for time. But what if that's them saying that the Doctor actually has a little bit more family towards Pink than we realize? Because he kept jumping back and forth and connecting with Danny Pink. Yes, it was partially Clara's fault, but what if Danny Pink actually might have relations to the Doctor? They keep bringing up like family, old faces, and yes, because the shed that they go to, they show you on it, is actually where the Doctor lives. And I'm just saying, revisiting old faces. Yeah, it's recycled footage, but it doesn't matter. They're still revisiting old faces, and that's technically the first Doctor that was in bed, which means revisiting old faces. And I knew that they would at least show other faces. I don't know to what degree, but so far I'm right on that. That means that the Doctor's family has to come into play in this season. And that's really what this episode is trying to tell us without telling us. This is one of those episodes you will rewatch after watching the finale of Series 8 and go, oh my god, I didn't even think of it. And they're telling us right now. And I feel like this seriously is going to be the episode that we all just click later on in the season. Okay guys, so what did you think of this episode? Did you guys love it as much as I did? Comment below, let me know. As you know, Strain is coming out tomorrow for me, so don't forget to stick around for that. And until next time, allons-y.